Hello YouTube, this is Black Skull, and welcome back to Goth for Guys. Now, this episode is going to focus on the more superficial aspects of the culture, just because, why not? I've already done one or two episodes of, the facial hair and the home decor, even gentlemen's canes, for instance, but yeah, this one's more on the subject of the fashion and possible makeup if you plan on wearing that. So there's a sort of silent rule that, if you've been in the subculture for a while now, you sort of know by now. It's along the lines of, in layman's terms, a sort of, not so much rebellion per se. What they do is they'll usually think of it as the self-proclaimed normal people wear what they wear so long as it pleases others. But we wear what we wear because it pleases ourselves. Because, it's blatantly obvious by now that we go through a lot of effort and time just to look the way we do, as often as we do. So, no sane person would go so far as to put themselves through all that trouble, especially their home if they do that. If all they're going to receive is negative feedback from any and all who gaze upon it, even if there's always something I like to personally reflect on. A particular instance that I can recall would be if you're just simply going about your business and passersby either point at you and snicker to their friends, or they'll just spontaneously laugh. Like, no warning whatsoever. They'll stare and then they'll laugh amongst themselves. The reality is that you should be laughing, because you know, just as well as I do, that any one of those uppity fools would never, ever have anywhere near the amount of gall to don anything remotely as extreme or even androgynous as we. They don't have our sense of bravery. They're so so accustomed to their own ways that, everything else is fluently alien to them. So even if it's just out of shock or genuine intrigue, they're gonna laugh in some case scenarios. But so long as you like the way you look, that's really all that matters. Their thoughts don't matter. You don't know any of these people. And even if you're getting it from family, so long as you're, overage or anything like that, as sad as it sounds, a lot of these issues happen with mostly children. So if you're children, or if you're underage, then you sort of have to put up with their idiocy for a while. It's bearable. You still got the music, so long as you know where to find it. You still got the more philosophical factors within it, but the more superficial things, you can sort of wait till you're 18, move out on your own, and as a last resort, you can always cut ties with those family members if they love themselves more than you, because the first thing you got to remember is that true love is unconditional. If they love you conditionally, they don't love you at all, and you shouldn't bother trying to love them either. But yeah, petty revenge is something I personally wouldn't advocate, but it's better to just, for the purpose of starting a better direction for yourself, just cut them out of your life. Change your name if you have to, just move away to a different location. Don't let them know where you're going. Change your phone number. I don't think you have to change your name per se, but if it's that extreme, if they're abusive physically, then yes, just get away from them. I've heard that there's plenty of men out there that rape their own daughters, or even molest them, if that counts for anything, which I'm sure it does, but still, we're getting into some taboo subject matter here. But yeah, what I'm really trying to get at here is, just don't focus on anyone else's thoughts, because at the end of the day, you're doing this for yourself. Really, the only reason I'm wearing what I wear in these videos is to just sort of inspire others who watch me do these videos. You know, and even then, I hardly wear that much as it is. So, you know, if they're going to give you flack for wearing studs in your shorts, or for turning a belt into a collar, or socks into gloves, that's their problem. They're the shallow ones, you know. They're the narcissistic ones who focus only on what's outside. Because at the inner core of humanity, we're all the very same. We all have meat and bones. We all have skin. We all have hair. We're all the same. So if they're going to denounce you or otherwise treat you as though you were a pariah, then the reality of the matter is that they're the ones with some serious problems up here. But they're going to treat you like you have problems everywhere. And that's just the way they work. That's how bullies in general work. So, yeah, just, if you can't tolerate them, if you can, like if you're being harassed, for instance, it's better to just not say anything at all, pretend like they're not there. But if they chase you down, if they do present you with hostile intent, with force, then it's best to defend yourself, you know. Don't just take it like a dead fish, all right? But only if they, you know, only if they fight back first, you know. Don't just chase them down with a chainsaw or anything like Leatherface, you know. It's better to have some kind of means of protection with you, even if it's just a cane or whatever, which they could take. But, you know, if you have a pocket knife or anything like mace or something small, but, you know, easily concealable, if you will, and they'll pretty much leave you alone if they see it, you know, if they're more cowardly. But especially if they're in masse, it's even better to travel in a group, really. You know, if you can even find any others of natural Gothic inclination to be around, your cronies, then it's definitely, you know, the chances are better in your favor of you enduring any of the male cow feces bullshit of others. I'm trying to, you know, I've tried to turn a new leaf as of recently. I'm trying to use grammatically correct terms instead of swearing. That's another good thing you can do if you're underage. You can suck up to your parents by using actual words instead of just slurs. Like personally, I'll say copulation instead of fuck, defecation instead of shit, posterior orifice instead of asshole. It's pretty funny, you know, but those are just some examples. But yeah, you know, it's just better to do for yourself aesthetically than it is for others, because life is already too short as it is. You know, if you waste your time catering to others' ocular pleasure and their superficial needs or desires, you're never going to be happy with yourself. I find that as you age, I'm not really all that old just yet, but I find that as you age, it's not so much what you do that you look back on with regret. It's what you don't do. Now, I'm not saying you only have to think of yourself. If your family or your friends do indeed love you unconditionally, or they're genuinely concerned, then speak with them. Inform them of the truth, the facts over the fallacies. That's really all there is to say about that. If you like, please like. Feel free to share your obscure little thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to see more, and as always, thank you so very much for watching. I love you all.